truly swelling now. 3 seconds now, 2. And with that, the UB Bulls are your 2022 MAC Soccer champions. Just the second time in program history of a raucous crowd at UB Stadium on their own home turf. The Bulls finished their MAC schedule undefeated and have earned themselves an automatic bid in the NCAA tournament. Far side shot on, Apollo scores! They came out here today with something to prove. Zach shot from some distance, Roser can't get there, they score!
You could not ask for a more beautiful early autumn day to play the beautiful game in Amherst, New York than we have tonight. A 71-degree and cloudy evening with a relaxing breeze at field level sets the stage for Thursday night MACtion on the pitch. It's Game 3 of Mid-American Conference action. Buffalo hosts Miami. Hello, folks. Welcome to UB Stadium. Jack Cruiser with you all evening long. At 4-2-3, the Bulls of Buffalo lost their first match in league play for the first time in 2 years, falling 1-0 to Ohio on Sunday. Following the loss, the Bulls spent the week focused on finishing. Despite the loss, the Bulls outshot the Bobcats 16-9 on Sunday, but Buffalo could not find a way to beat Ohio's Celeste Sloma. The Bulls are 1-1 in MAC play entering tonight. The 3-6-1 Miami Redhawks made the trip from Oxford, Ohio, after a pair of losses opened their Mid-American Conference schedule. Having scored the fewest goals amongst all MAC members, the Redhawks, even more so than the Bulls, are desperate for an offensive explosion. 2 of Miami's 5 goals this season came in their last 2 games, falling to Ball State 3-1 before dropping a home match 2-1 to Central Michigan. We take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's match. First, the visiting Redhawks of Miami. They come in looking for their first league victory this season. And for the Buffalo Bulls, their starting lineup looks a little something like this. Same typical suspects that we've seen all season, with Wengender, our highlighted player. Our players to watch for today's game. First for the visiting Redhawks, Taylor Hamlet. She's got a goal in each of the last 2 games for Miami. Number 32 up top, a transfer from Middle Tennessee State University. 2 goals this season, both in MACtion. And for the Bulls, Ariana Zumpano is our key player to watch. Still looking for her 2nd goal on the year after notching the game winner at Ohio State in non-conference play. If Zumpano gets hot, the Bulls are in good favor with their head coach, Sean Burke. That is not the only thing that the Bulls need to do today. They need a lot of things to go their way, but defense has been one thing that has gone their way all season. Buffalo looking to turn defense into offense at UB Stadium today. Glad to have you with us. A beautiful night for MACtion. Buffalo 1-1, Miami 0-2. We're underway from Amherst, New York. The Miami Redhawks in the red uniforms, of course. 0-2 in conference play. 10th, that being a 1-0 victory at home against Eastern Kentucky. 3 straight losses since, rounding out their non-conference schedule, a 4-0 loss at Montana. That the worst loss on the year for the Redhawks, who are attacking with possession first. Here is Kaya Schultz for Buffalo. To the far side, the captain, Olivia Bizzoni. Fast in transition, Zumpano gets bumped. No call. Miami clears. Galco battling along the far side, the defender for Buffalo, true freshman. She has started all 10 matches this season, Maya Galco has. This is Emily Lazenby. Zumpano, one-touch pass to Katie Crone in front of her. Miami takes over. Maria Hafen, one touch to Camber Hayes, looking to get her offense going. Number 11 in red has been stellar since entering the conference a few seasons ago. A header goes through. Miami with the chance. Picked up at the end line by Hamlet, but offside is the call. Lazenby centering that back line for Buffalo had her fellow defenders step up in due time. Maria Hafen, the freshman from Lakewood, Colorado, plays for Nora Roosh, the sophomore from Dublin, Ohio. Hamlet unable to control on the far side. A steal for Buffalo. Crone in the middle, neatly defended by Hayes. Buffalo recovers. Fast pass, too far ahead of Sarah Woods. The Redhawks goalkeeper is Dominique Popa, the freshman, true freshman, starting for the Redhawks. A 2-5-1 record this season. Miami wins the 50-50. Hamlet leaves it over. Quick through ball, way too far ahead. Even Ellie Simmons lets it roll to the transfer from Monmouth, Rebecca Winslow. Third start this season for Winslow. Rebecca Winslow coming in, replacing Lexi Thompson, the starter entering the season, who left a game to start conference play at Akron with a hand injury. Things are not looking good for Lexi Thompson to come back anytime soon, but the Bulls are just fine with Rebecca Winslow in between the pipes as the Bulls clear. Nothing doing on that chance. Great pass from Zumpano. Crone right back to Ariana Zumpano. A move around another defender, gets tripped up from behind. A foul on Miami. Or is it? No. Play on, says the official. The center official, Stephanie Sereno, was right there. Scott Boniface and Andrew Edelman, the assistant referees, all three of them say, nope, that was clean play. Zumpano just tripped. We play on. 5 minutes underway from UB Stadium in Amherst. 71 degrees. It's a bit brisk down at field level. But for this late in September, beautiful. Bizzoni charges two and wins the battle. Space and Wengender to her left. Plays it for Leah Wengender. Herman Trophy watch list player sends it in. Cleared in the air by Madeline Schlecht. And to the corner, Buffalo goes. First corner attempt on the day for either team. Comes much earlier than it did a game ago for the Bulls. First corner didn't come until the second half. Buffalo fell 1-0 despite having a penalty kick attempt in the last 30 seconds of play. It's a short play. Buffalo looking to set up with possession. Wengender to Simmons. The feed headed out. Bizzoni settles. Lets her rip. Top shelf. It's punched over. Bizzoni met by Dom Popa. The 6-foot freshman used all 6 feet and then the arm to reach up and punch it over the crossbar. That shot could not have been more beautifully placed on the corner. Buffalo quickly sets up on the near side. This time, Galco sends it far off the goal line, centered. Buffalo still with possession. Turnaround chip towards the goal. Popa grabs it. Buffalo with 2 great opportunities 7 minutes into the game. Where have you heard this before? I'll tell you, Sunday, the Bulls had 2 great chances on goal within the first 7 minutes. Both getting stopped off Ariana Zumpano's foot. She's our player to watch today for a reason. Had 3 shots on goal against Ohio Sunday. This is Haley Anspaugh with a through ball. There you can hear the head coach and assistants for the Miami Redhawks. That the voice of Roberto Gallegos in his 2nd season as assistant coach on Courtney Sermon's staff, saying that pass needed to be earlier. Sarah Woods with the defensive effort. We might have another commentator down near our field mic. We'll welcome that gentleman into the booth gladly. Eyes on the field, we love to see it. Last year, Miami 9-5-6 overall, 4-2-5 in the Mid-American Conference. They had just 1 loss on their home pitch. So 4 of those came on the road. Sarah Woods leaves it to the middle. She gets tripped up, but the errant pass is stolen away. Nora Roosh with the interception. Buffalo attacks Wengender. Crone to Sarah Woods with space down the sideline. She takes it. Woods plays it to the middle, though out of bounds. Last time these 2 teams met was the tournament last year, a 1-0 game that Buffalo won here in Amherst. There you see the series history. That game a 1-0 victory for the Bulls, and even more so last year, the first match they played in Oxford, a 0-0 tie. That one of 3 ties in the series history. Kaylin Ritchie with a great step to give Buffalo possession back again. Sarah Woods turning, gets tackled out of bounds. Buffalo throw. Maria Hayfin got caught reaching with 1 leg. Schultz, Wengender, Zumpano a step too late. Madeline Schlecht, the transfer from Wisconsin. Great defense for the Redhawks. Wengender battles with Roosh. Another throw for the Bulls. They've dominated possession since gaining it 2 minutes into play. The Redhawks had early pressure. Since then, all Buffalo. Glad to have you with us on the Buffalo Bulls Sports Network. Jack Cruiser with you all evening. Michael Loss, our producer. Ashley Zarnota upstairs on the camera. '71 and cloudy with a slight breeze at field level. Here is a free kick for the Bulls that Ellie Simmons will take. She sends it in. Punched out by Popa. Woods recovers. The back line of Miami steps up. Woods chips it into the chest of Dom Popa. Ritchie jumps up and over her defender. Anspaugh broken up by Ellie Simmons. Reason she was Defensive Player of the Year in the conference a season ago. Going to be tough for Miami to attack on the wings. Great move defensively. Miami looking to create. Simmons having nothing about it.
Oh, you gotta get it!
Wengender tries her best to hustle back and eventually does steal it from Camber Hayes. Crone then stands on top of Hayes, and these two start getting tangled up a bit. Crone has picked up a yellow card in each of her last 2 matches. She's got to be careful not to get another, at least this early in the contest. Both of her last 2 yellows came in the second half. Camber Hayes on the ground for Miami there. "12 minutes gone by from Buffalo. No score. Miami attacking. Hayfin stolen away. Crone with the steal. Ritchie with the feed to Wengender. A 3-on-2 break. Zumpano breaks free. Ariana Zumpano with the left. Right on goal. Popa makes the save. Crone follows up, shoots, and scores! Katie Crone's 7th goal on the season. Buffalo breaks free. It's 1-0 Bulls, 13 minutes in. Popa had the first, the clear attempt short. Crone with the left, perfectly placed.
Buffalo goal scored by number 6, Katie Crone. In the 13th minute, Crone.
Ariana Zumpano, our player to watch, set it up. She'll get credit for the assist, I'm sure, off the rebound. If not, Zumpano earns a plus in our book. It won't show up on the stat sheet, but my oh my. That is defense leading to offense. Crone with the steal defensively. There's a shot that just goes wide as Rebecca Winslow got challenged. Back in Buffalo's 16, or 6-yard box rather, is number 16. That's Maya Galco. Time is called. Galco with a smile on her face. Looks like she'll stay in there. The true freshman starting left back. Shakes it off and gets going. Lazenby centering the back line. Galco to her left, Simmons to her right. Let's talk about some Buffalo keys brought to you by head coach Sean Burke. Fast in transition? Well, they just were. And that is why they have a 1-0 lead. Look for it again. Wengender with a chip too far ahead of Bizzoni, who was on the far side. 50-50 won by Buffalo. That could have been the third key if we got another from Coach Burke. Win the 50-50s, though that a staple from any program. If you win the 50-50 balls off of free kicks, goal kicks, etc., usually you got a good chance to take home the game. Katie Crone in the 13th minute gives Buffalo the 1-0 lead here at UB Stadium, a place that has been favorable to the Bulls entering this season. But so far in 2023, the Bulls are 0-2-1 on their home pitch. 4-0-2 on the road. That a big change from last year's 9-0-1 at home for the Bulls. 4-2-3 on the road, and going back even further than that, in 2021, Buffalo 5-1-2 at home. All that being said, 14 wins, 0 losses since the start of the 2021 season. On the home pitch, a chance for Zumpano, easily handled by Dom Popa. Can't fault Popa for the first goal against Miami. She made the initial save on Zumpano, and the clear attempt, I believe it was Madeline Schlecht who just couldn't clear it out of the back line for Miami. Instead, it bounced right onto the leg of Katie Crone, who ripped it into the right corner for her 7th tally on the season. Free kick for the Bulls. Sent in. Ritchie bounces in front of Popa. Kaylin Ritchie just couldn't get her leg on it in time. Dominique Popa, proving her worth, makes the save on the free attempt. Katie Crone hustles to the 50-50 on the near side. Great touch to the middle. Crone missed a penalty kick attempt in the last 30 seconds of the game against Ohio on Sunday. This is Olivia Bozzoni. She centers it. Zumpano off the ricochet, turns to the middle and fights through two. But Camber Hayes is there to clear for the Redhawks. Crone missed that attempt in the last 30 seconds against Ohio. That could have tied the game. She shot dead center in the net. Celeste Sloma dove to the right but got her legs on it. An unfortunate miss for the Bulls as the game ended 1-0 in favor of Ohio. Crone spent the next 2 hours sitting and reflecting within the stands. Really took it to heart. Then she spent another 2 hours on the pitch shooting penalty kicks. That's just the kind of mentality that number 6 has for Buffalo. It pays off in the early goings. A set in. Popa lost it. Zumpano just missed it. But that extra effort from Crone pays off. Her 7th tally on the season, leads all MAC scorers at this point in the year. She was tied for the lead with 6. Now, Crone stands alone, breaking the tie with Madison Madal and Avery Fenchel of Toledo and Ball State, respectively. Sarah Woods to the middle, deflected towards the goal line. Great recovery from Haley Anspaugh, the starting forward. Came all the way back to defend against Sarah Woods on the wings. Towards the goal line, Zumpano can't touch it in. A goal kick. It's Alzheimer's Awareness Day here at UB Stadium, hence the officials in purple. No, it's not just a coincidence. Buffalo wearing the purple warm-ups today. Trying to spread awareness on just how many folks have been affected by Alzheimer's disease. Coach Sean Burke, heavily touched by this disease, his father passing, along with 3 of his uncles dealing with Alzheimer's. The good thing about events like this, you start talking about it and realize how many other people within even just the UB staff that have been touched by this disease. Really brings people together, and it's all about spreading that awareness, knowing the signs in the state of New York. The number of people age 65 and older with Alzheimer's, this according to the Alzheimer's Association, in 2020 was 410,000 people in New York State. In 2025, an expected 460,000. So that number just increasing, an estimated 12% increase in New York State. In Ohio, even more of an increase, 13% expected increase in the next 3 years amongst people who have or will get Alzheimer's. Kaylin Ritchie gets bowled over in the middle of the field, and Ohio's midfielder Haley Anspaugh, who has been everywhere, has a quick conversation. No card coming out of the pocket of Stephanie Sereno. But Buffalo's Kaylin Ritchie pops right back up. More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and over 11.5 million provide their unpaid care. Just bringing awareness to all these stats and statistics, brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association, to which Buffalo has donated upwards of $15,000 over the last 6 or 7 seasons, going back to 2017 when Coach Burke started to hold this night annually. The team would be taking place in the Alzheimer's Walk in Western New York this weekend if they weren't on the road. Buffalo leaves town early Saturday, heading to Ypsilanti to take on Eastern Michigan on Sunday, their next game. We'll have words from Coach Burke at halftime when he spoke to Sarah Trinelli a day ago about the impact that Alzheimer's has had on his life and why this night is held. Though just a glimpse shown to you there of how much it can mean to him and a lot of the players and staff members here at Buffalo. Katie Crone, the goal scorer for the Bulls, gets neatly tackled. Great defensive effort from Miami. And Nora Roche, the sophomore, has had her name called quite often so far today. Buffalo's sophomore defender Ellie Simmons clears to the near side. Maria Hafen steps in, nearly stole it. Kaylin Ritchie battles, and once more she's sent to the turf, this time by Roche. Inside the 18.
Nice job, Emily.
Emily Lazenby comes over to clear just as our player to watch, Taylor Hamlet, gained some space inside the 18. Had a chance to speak with Lazenby yesterday. We recorded a new segment around the 18. That will air at halftime as well. In the near corner, Hamlet, a goal in each of her last 2 games. Unable to fend off Lazenby. Check that, Sarah Woods, who came all the way back down the right wing, and Ellie Simmons in the corner. Buffalo goal kick. Believe it or not, 25 minutes have nearly ticked away here at UB Stadium. A 1-0 lead for Buffalo, thanks to Katie Crone's 7th tally on the season. That goal from Katie Crone coming at the 13-minute mark. Buffalo quickly turning defense to offense. Crone, the chip, the header from Zumpano. Missed. Popa lost it. It's a corner for Buffalo. When the bounces start going your way, some momentum follows. Buffalo with a chance to build off of that effort on a corner. Ellie Simmons, the defender, with Wengender close to her. Simmons sends it in. Ritchie jumps. It's headed. Set on goal. They score! Katie Crone, her second tally on the evening. Buffalo's up by 2.
Buffalo goal scored by number 6, her second of the day, 8th on the season, Katie Crone. Katie Crone in the 26th minute for the Bulls.
Simmons sent it in. The head from Galco, a beautiful pass. Katie Crone the finish. With that, Maya Galco should earn her first career assist. Katie Crone, her 8th tally on the season, leads all Mid-American Conference players. Buffalo has opened the floodgates. It's 2-0 with 20 minutes to play in the first.
Caroline Palmer.
Buffalo has been waiting for a game like this. Playing with a lead at home. They hadn't had it all season. Just 3 games to speak of at UB Stadium this year. A 2-1 loss to Pitt in the season opener, where Buffalo battled back.
Number 11, Foster. Number 15, Mika Mallory. Number 29, Ashley Fortunate. And number 25, Moa Anderson.
A lot of substitutions for Sean Burke's squad as Dan Schieser introduces them over the public address. Out of those, what stands out to me, Ashley Fortunate, the junior midfielder from Briarcliff Manor, New York, came in as a substitute off the bench on Sunday after Buffalo's offense was quite stale in the second half. Fortunate came in, and within seconds, number 29 had 2 shots on goal. Neither went in, but Fortunate, what a story. A player who last year and the year before did not even travel with the team for road games. Coach Burke only allowed to bring 20 players. Fortunate wasn't in there. Now Crone feeds to Foster just ahead of number 11 inside the 18.
Great job, Katie.
Fortunate, just to put a bow on her story, came in this season and Coach Burke said she's the best player in training. Every day at practice, at training, the team tries to push the effort and the energy amongst each other. Number 29, who wins that header, has really taken a step up in her junior season, recognizing that with injuries, specifically to Jasmine Gerber, the junior forward who is out for a long period of time for the Bulls, has not played a game this season. We don't expect her to. Fortunate came in with a different mindset, and well, I'm excited to chat with her later on in the season and hear more about her story, and then in turn share that with you. Moa Anderson as well, the transfer from Temple. She checks in wearing number 25, earns that break for the Bulls.
Number 12, Ashley Reyes. And number 22, Eva Blatz.
A chance to empty the bench for Coach Burke, and boy, could he use it. He said to me before the game, we need a chance to give our starters a rest. They've played so much in the last few days, and he said he'd rather it come on a Thursday. Quick turnaround with the Bulls playing Sunday at Eastern Michigan. You've got travel in there along with just a lesser of a break that you would get from Sunday to Thursday. This all going according to plan for Coach Burke and his squad, who has had a great week of training. Could not be overstated. A send to the middle from Foster. Fortunate shot deflects off a leg and goes for a corner. Kylie Von Klaar just got her inside leg on it. The right leg deflected it back and past the goal line. Buffalo corner once more. A 2-0 lead for the Bulls in the first half. 15 minutes remain. Both goals from Katie Crone. Set in once more, this time cleared. Ashley Reyes takes a shot that gets blocked. It bounces back towards the corner and cleared by Haley Anspaugh of Miami. At the far corner, Mika Maroli battles to win it back. On the sideline, it's deflected, still in bounds. Moa Anderson clears up top. Kaylin Ritchie dances around one. Feeds Foster at the near side. Marissa Foster shoots just wide. Good closeout from her numeral counterpart, Camber Hayes. The senior
for Miami, number 31,
has been on the All-NAC team for the last 3 years, Camber Hayes. First team All-Conference a season ago after making the conference second team in both her freshman and sophomore seasons. One of, if not the best midfielder in the Mid-American Conference, number 11, Camber Hayes. We've seen her defense on full display so far this afternoon. Early evening, I guess, now at the 6:30 hour. 13.5 to go in this first 45. Buffalo leading by 2 Katie Crone tallies. Steal from Ellie Simmons, feed to Foster. She's got to keep it in, and she does. Foster, one-on-one, takes her defender to the side, sends it in front, off a leg and out of play. Mercedes Schreier got in on it. Another Buffalo corner. Fourth corner on the day. They get the fifth. Maroli couldn't keep it in play. Looked to turn that thing in and bend it. Check that. It was the defender Maya Galco. Regardless, it's a goal kick for Miami. Glad to have you with us on the UB Bulls YouTube. We invite you to stick around for our halftime show. We'll have a conversation with Emily Lazenby, starting center defender for the Bulls. Words from Coach Burke on Alzheimer's Awareness Game. We'll have highlights, both Katie Crone goals, a couple other highlights from the first half. First half stats, a look around the conference, all that and more at halftime here on the UB Bulls Sports Network. Simmons with a good step ends the break of Julia Cure. But a foul on the Bulls sets up the Redhawks. Still not much to talk about in terms of Miami attempts. Their best chance, an offside called earlier in the half. Ritchie jumped. Foster taken down from behind as Caroline Palmer took out Marissa Foster. The sophomore from Wapperings Falls, New York, Marissa Foster, shakes it off and, like she does all season, gets right back into play and keeps it moving. Buffalo on the far side. Look to change fields. Moa Anderson, quick touch to Marissa Foster. She lays it ahead. Great run from Anderson. Centers it. The trailer Maroli. The shot from Reyes just high. Ashley Reyes with a great chance. But the work from Moa Anderson and Marissa Foster on the near wing, setting up that chance. That's what Buffalo spent all day yesterday at practice working on. Fast in transition, one-touch passing, smart decisions, all of that on full display here in the first half. A 2-0 lead for the Bulls. Anderson, oh, that clear ahead was just out of the reach of Mika Maroli, who was making a run on the far side. Great defensive effort for Buffalo. Maroli not able to keep it in play after Eva Blatt stepped up. Buffalo making changes pretty much everywhere in the lineup. Lazenby steps up from the back line as Simmons will take the free kick. Galco left back. Sent in just over the head of the attacking Bull Eva Blatz, who slipped past the last line of defense. The 5'9" freshman. Eva almost had it. Dom Popa looking to not drop her 6th game on the season. Will need some help offensively. The goalkeeper for Miami sends it out. Here's some chances for the Redhawks. Great step and a steal for the Bulls. Ashley Reyes. Fortunate leaves. Reyes feeds down the far side. Maroli quick passing. Look at the one-touch passing from Buffalo to create space. They win the territory battle. Blatz with a fancy move. Keeps it in the air. Ritchie with space. While it doesn't look like much, all of these touches that are critically performed by the Bulls add on top of each other, and it's just a great pile of momentum. Maroli leaves for Reyes. The touch to the middle from Galco makes her defender fall. Up and on her feet, Julia Cure. And a steal for Kaylin Ritchie, who gets taken down. Miami's attacker doesn't like it. That being Julia Cure, the freshman, jogs back as Lazenby feeds Simmons. Ellie can boot it. She plays it short. Headed ahead. Ritchie with a feed to the middle. Fortunate makes a run just a second late. Lazenby taps it out of bounds. Some members of the Buffalo basketball team in attendance, the women's hoops team, cheering on the players on the pitch. The Bulls on the pitch have received some great support from their fellow athletes. On Thursday a week ago, it was the Bulls volleyball team who were awaiting their match in Ohio. Took a trip over to the soccer field at Akron and cheered on the Bulls on the soccer field, who walked away with a 2-0 victory. I'm not sure if there were any teams in attendance on Sunday, but Buffalo did lose that match 1-0 at home against Ohio. Perhaps the Bulls needing some support from some fellow student athletes to pull away a victory in conference play. Rebecca Winslow to Ellie Simmons. Cleared into space. Buffalo puts on the pressure. Fortunate. Nearly forced a miscue. Instead, here is the reigning All-MAC player, Camber Hayes. With Kaylin Ritchie on her back, Hayes leaves it to the back line and Madeline Schlecht. A steal for Buffalo on the far side. Maroli, who has been impressive in her freshman campaign, gets the pass back. Mika Maroli, Ashley Fortunate, just wide. And that did deflect. This is the quick passing that Coach Sean Burke needs to see in his 10th season as head coach. Two-time MAC champion. That's two-time MAC champion. Winning the regular season and conference tournament titles a year ago here in Buffalo. Ellie Simmons on the far corner. Her freshman campaign, a distant memory at this point. Sends it in, back line, bobbles, chip towards the goal, knocked down. High in the air. Lazenby can't win the header. Ritchie does, sent right back ahead. The Dolphins continue to battle it inside the 18. Eventually it fans to a foot. Eva Blatz to Simmons, sent ahead. Buffalo pouring on the pressure, leading 2-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Foster made the run, the pass broken up. Lazenby steps and clears to an open area. Eva Blatz softly touches it, gets shoved, and earns the foul on Miami. Fouls now 7-4 in favor. Well, it depends on what you want to say in favor of. Miami has 7. The Bulls lead on the category that matters, 2-0. With 2:50 to go, Ellie Simmons to take another free kick for the Bulls. Katie Crone with both markers. She is on the sideline, getting a rest, and well-deserved. Simmons with a big boot into the 18. Bouncer! Popa handles it. Dom Popa has had a tough time handling the initial shot. The true freshman from Odenton, Maryland. Gives it a boot.
Now in the match for Miami, number 9, Kayla Perfect.
No, that's not an error. Kayla Perfect. How about that for a last name? From Medina, Ohio. The freshman checks in. An opportunity blocked by Galco. Perfect with the shot. Earns a corner in the dying seconds. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Perfect checked in. Had a shot blocked. Now a chance for Camber Hayes. 3-time All-MAC player. Gives it a boot. Kicked by 2 Miami Redhawks. Out of bounds, a goal kick. They were arguing that it got deflected off each other's foot. 32
1 minute remaining
and 22. That being Taylor Hamlet and McKenna Morrison arguing that it went off each other's foot, not realizing that each other play for the same squad. Ellie Simmons, 45 seconds to go in the half. Fortunate settles for Buffalo at midfield. Eva Blatz bowls over Camber Hayes. Not a malicious foul, but it does give the Redhawks a chance from midfield. 25 seconds to go. Hayes lets her rip. One bounce, make it two. Settled by the Redhawks. Ellie Simmons, great defensive effort to keep it in. Down the sideline. Moa Anderson makes the run. Stolen back.
5, 4, 3.
Ellie Simmons doing what she does best. That's how you get MAC Defensive Player of the Year. The best chance negated at the end of the half. Buffalo leads 2-0 at the end of 45 from UB Stadium. A cloudy night in Amherst, New York, but it's been nothing but sunshine on the field for the Bulls. 2 Katie Crone tallies has Buffalo up 2-0 after 1. Our halftime show on the other side of these messages from Emily Lazenby and Coach Sean Burke coming up after this.
Emily Lazenby joins us for 18 and 18. Emily, first question. What's your earliest memory of playing soccer?
Oh, probably back in we call it Timbits back in Canada. And it's just playing and scoring, running down the whole length of the field, little pug nets. I used to have my shin guards on the outside of my socks. I was that person. It was, 3, 4 years old.
As a history major, what's your favorite era of human history?
I like ancient history, so early civilization. I can geek out about that for a long time, so I won't put us through that.
Do you have a favorite civilization?
Easy. I'm gonna go with Egyptian. I got a tattoo on my back and everything. Again, I could geek out about that one too, but
okay.
Keep it short.
Okay, aside from winning a bronze medal, what is your favorite memory from your time in the 14U Richmond Hill Ringette team?
You guys went deep. Okay, it was in New Brunswick, so it was just kind of exploring a different province with my team, and we got to go to Nova Scotia and PEI, so it was just a really fun experience being able to explore a different part of Canada.
Which do you prefer, Memphis barbecue or Buffalo chicken wings?
I'm gonna get hated on for this, but Memphis barbecue. I'm not a Buffalo chicken fan. Yeah. Okay.
Who inspires you, Emily?
I'd say my older brother. He's 3 years older. He played soccer, obviously before I did. So my earliest memories are going to his soccer games. So it kind of just got me involved in sports.
What is the reason that soccer is the greatest sport in the world?
Because it's the biggest sport in the world. You get the biggest turnout, the biggest numbers. Look at the World Cup. It's just like a global sport. Everyone plays it. Everyone can play it.
We've hit the halfway point. Let's talk UB soccer. When did you first know that Buffalo was right for you?
I think my first night here after I transferred here, it was immediate. So many girls reached out, oh, what are you doing? Do you want to hang out? Do you want to have fun? And I was like, oh, this is going to be such a great group of girls. And I was oh, welcome, let's go.
What makes Coach Burke different from the others you've had?
He's the first coach that takes mental health really seriously. I talked to him about that 2 years ago when he brought in a mental health coach for us, and game changer.
How often do you think about the MAC championship a year ago?
I try not to dwell on it in season, but that was one of my best soccer memories, so it's once in a lifetime achievement there.
What are the similarities between these two true freshman starting defenders, Ellie Simmons and Maya Galko?
What's the difference? Well, it's really nice that Maya's naturally left-footed, so we have both sides covered, and they're both amazing 1v1. They're making my job in the middle really easy.
What is the difference in playing in front of Lexi Thompson and Rebecca Winslow?
I don't think there's a difference. I think they're both amazing shot blockers. They're both communicating so much with us. Again, they make it really easy in the middle there.
If you weren't a defender, what position would you play?
Okay. Again, they're not going to agree with this. But growing up, I was a striker, and I was really good, and I scored a lot of goals, so I would go up top.
Swap wardrobes with any player on the team. Who are you choosing?
Jasmine. Easy.
No question there. Okay, last question, or at least last couple. What does it mean to be a Bull?
Just family. You're just an immediate environment that you always want to be in, you always want to compete in. Being able to show up every day with these guys, it's like I don't want to think about when I'm done. Like it's so much fun.
This is the last question. Emily, what is your loftiest, craziest dream in life?
In life, oof. I want to go to all the continents, travel.
How many do you have down so far?
2. I got a ways to go, but that's the goal.
All right, that's Emily Lazenby for 18 around the 18.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously, you know, with losing my father and just having it being so a prominent disease, unfortunately, in my family. It's great that we have this platform to bring awareness to Alzheimer's. Again, we'll be wearing the purple warm-up shirts. You know, hopefully the crowd will show up in a little bit of purple. The only time I think we ever ask you not to wear the UB colors. But again, I just think it's another opportunity for this team just to use our platform and our success to just showcase that, you know, there is a lot going on out there, and we all have stuff that we're dealing with, and to be supportive. And this group, you know, has always been supportive in that regard, and you know, it does obviously means a lot to me.
The Buffalo Bulls lead the Miami Redhawks 2-0 at halftime from UB Stadium, thanks to 2 Katie Crone tallies here in Amherst. Great to have you with us here on the UB Bulls Network. Jack Cruiser with you all evening long. That is Michael Loss. If you can't see him, he's just below the camera. Great game so far for the Buffalo Bulls. They've dominated from the jump. We'll get to highlights and stats in a moment, but boy, Katie Crone needed this breakthrough. Despite leading all MAC goal scorers and being tied for the lead with 6 goals coming into tonight, she has now solidified herself as the top goal scorer in the 10th game that she has played this year, now with 8 tallies on the 2023 season. We mentioned in that first half how she missed the PK at the end of the game against Ohio on Sunday. Crone bounced back right away after spending 4 hours in solitude here at UB Stadium, just down to that end where she was locked in, thought about it for 2 hours, and then took PKs for 2 more hours. She bounces back, and as Tyler Bauer just came in and mentioned briefly from the production room, that first goal that Crone scored probably was the best feeling that she's had in quite some time. Now, the MAC's top goal scorer this season. Let's look at some first half stats brought to you by Michael Lawson, our production team. The Bulls dominating in most categories, especially shots and shots on goal. 11-2 in total attempts. 6 of the Bulls' shots have had to be stopped by goaltender Dom Popa of the Miami Redhawks, and one of the 2 Crone goals off a corner kick. The Bulls have been tremendous in set pieces, but this break from Zumpano, great save from Popa, and then the clear attempt from Mercedes Schreier right onto the foot of Katie Crone, who picks top cheddar. That goal number 1 for Katie Crone. Again, the relief that she must have felt after notching that was incredible. The second marker for Katie Crone, something like this, off that corner kick, beautifully sent in off the head of Maya Galko, who should, I believe, earn her first career assist. Maya Galko on that second Bulls goal headed it right to Katie Crone, who notched it in for her second tally on the day. Buffalo leads 2-0 after 1. A look at the MAC standings here tonight. Third game of play for most teams. Kent State atop the conference at 2-0, and then a big log jam for second and third place with a bunch of teams at 1 win. Buffalo dropping their first conference game on Sunday in 2 seasons. They're in a weird spot here in the middle, Mike. They're not used to being in the middle of the standings. Buffalo is fighting to get back towards the top after being picked to finish in first. Out of town scores looks like this. 3 games yet to input stats, at least ones that we can see to tell you about. The games up top, both final. Ohio at 3-1 over Northern Illinois, and Ball State defeating the Rockets 2-1, both of those final. And then the big game that Bulls fans, I'm sure, would like to find out about down in the bottom left. Eastern, who is Buffalo's next opponent, and Kent State, who is currently atop the Mid-American Conference. Couple players of the week for the Mid-American Conference from said Flashes. Elisa Arthur, the offensive player of the week, and on the flip side, the defensive player, Kelsey Salopek, both from the Flashes, who Buffalo will see in due time. Due time meaning their last game of the year at home on Thursday, October 26th, to close out the regular season. A long time until Buffalo has to see Kelsey Salopek and the Kent State Golden Flashes. But tonight is all that matters for Bulls fans. A 2-0 lead after 1 half of play. Both Katie Crone tallies her 7th and 8th goals on the season. This, her 3rd match already this season with 2 goals. Can Crone get the elusive 3rd? We'll find out and see how the second half plays out after this. Half number 2 underway from UB Stadium in Amherst. 2-0 Buffalo on top, and early a foul against the Bulls. They were heavily in favor of Buffalo. After one half, with the Bulls leading the fouls 7-5, Miami taking 7 of them. This time an early chance for the Red Hawks. Their senior, Camber Hayes, sends it short, neatly cleared by Buffalo. Ellie Simmons stepped up and knocked it away. Headed down by Eva Blatz. Bizzoni up the side to Zumpano. Starters back in for the Bulls, except Eva Blatz out there in the midfield. Wengender, Zumpano, Crone, the 2 goals for Katie Crone. All starting this second half with Sarah Woods, Kaya Ritchie, Olivia Bizzoni, who kicks it to Wengender. Lazenby, Simmons, and Galco on the back line. Good step for Lazenby, ties up her attacker. Redhawks looking to break past this final line of defense for Buffalo. Maya Galco clears the Taylor Hamlet shot. Rebecca Winslow stands between her pipes, awaiting this corner kick attempt. Haley Anspaugh, a goal and an assist this season. Sends it towards the 6. Missed everybody. Is settled. Hayes punched out by Winslow. Hayes once more, this time blocked by Eva Blatz. She took that one up high. Ariana Zumpano, 1-on-3. Loses her footing. Dominique Popa scoops it away. Another foul on Buffalo, leading by 2. This, the game that Coach Sean Burke was praying for the last 4 days since losing to Ohio on Sunday. Hamlet settles, gets pushed by Bizzoni, no call. Looked like Hamlet just fell. In the corner, Bizzoni gets beat. Beinecke has it blocked out of bounds. Early pressure for the Red Hawks of Miami. Anspaugh to send in the corner again. Towards the goal, Winslow missed it. Luckily for Buffalo, it rolls out of bounds for a Buffalo goal kick. Great opportunity off the corner for Miami. Nothing doing. 2-0 we stand. Miami, for the first 5 minutes of this half, pedal to the metal. Miami's Madeline Schlecht to the near side. Step from Bizzoni, another step from Blatz. Her numeral counterpart, McKenna Morrison, takes her space. Bizzoni to Winslow, deflects towards the goal. Galco's there to clear. Buffalo playing with fire in the first 6 minutes of the second half. Hanging on to a 2-0 lead. Ellie Simmons. Check that. Sarah Woods is who got tripped up, and a yellow card issued to Miami of Ohio's midfielder. That being Maria Hafen, the freshman from Lakewood, Colorado. A two-woman wall of Taylor Hamlet and Camber Hayes. Sent 10 yards in front of Ellie Simmons. Buffalo, their best chance so far in this half. Sent towards the goal. Header. Knocked down. Wengender. Herman Trophy watch list to start the season. Leah Wengender. Broken up defensively, and a goal kick for Miami of Ohio. Katie Crone leads all Mid-American Conference players in scoring now with 8 goals, having 2 tonight, her third game with 2 tallies. Insane power on the left foot. That's how she scored both. Crone leaves it ahead. Wengender behind it, cleared by Miami's Mercedes Schreier. Schreier in that back line for the Red Hawks, an impressive multi-sport athlete in high school. At Christian High School in O'Fallon, Missouri, Mercedes Schreier won a state title her freshman year in soccer, and later won states for both cross country and then track and field. Not too shabby when you've got 3 state championships to your credit in your high school career. 12 state medals in cross country and track combined. Just a ridiculous resume for Mercedes Schreier, who also gets it done in the classroom. An academic all-MAC player her sophomore year in 2022. Crone. Smart play. Bizzoni got beat by Madeline Schlecht. A foul on Buffalo's Kaylin Ritchie. And the official, Stephanie Sereno, wants no more from Camber Hayes or Kaylin Ritchie. A free kick for Miami. Leanne Spa. This is her 11th game played this season, number 12 in red. After playing just 1 game her junior campaign a season ago. And Spa plays it short. Galco in her way. Settled. Buffalo with a break. But Wengender doesn't get to the ball in time. Great hustle back for Miami's forward Kylie Beinecke. To the goal line, Hamlet wisely plays it off the legs of the Bulls' Emily Lazenby. Corner kick for the Red Hawks again. Credit to Courtney Sermon's squad, her 6th year as head coach with Miami. They've come out and made the adjustments necessary, pressuring for this first nearly 14 minutes. Great head from Ritchie. Make it Eva Blatz, I beg your pardon, who cleared it to the far side off the corner. Off the hand. Was it inside the box? Kaylin Ritchie got her hand on it just outside, says Stephanie Sereno. Sarah Woods and Ariana Zumpano will get backed up 10 yards. Miami bearing on the pressure. looking for their first win in league play. The Miami Redhawks need a tally, and they need one soon. Trailing 2-0. 10 minutes gone by in the second half. Miami down by 2. Thrown towards the goal. Winslow smacked it away. More of a common set piece coming up now. A corner from the near side. And Spa to take it once more. A two-time conference champion in high school. Played 14 games between her freshman and sophomore campaign. Sends it short on the corner, a goal kick. Substitutions for Buffalo, 4 of them.
Now in the bench for Buffalo, number 15, Mika Maroli. Number 24, Kaya Schultz. 25, Moa Anderson. And 29, Ashley Fortunate.
Richie, Zumpano, Bizzoni, and Wengender all getting well-deserved rest. Call that veteran rest. Zumpano a senior, Wengender the 5th year, Richie a junior, Sarah Woods a sophomore, but as Sarah Woods remains on the field, I beg your pardon. Bizzoni, the senior, comes out.
Come on!
Well, fans don't like another foul on Buffalo and a yellow card issued to Katie Crone. That's now her 3rd straight game with a yellow card. Katie Crone, while she's explosive on the score sheet, you get away with some, but not all of the antics. Crone issued her 3rd yellow card this season. All in every MAC game, she's had a yellow card in each. Free kick sent towards the top of the 18, headed by Katie Crone. Sarah Woods clears and puts it right into the knees of Ashley Fortunate, who sends it up. Mika Maroli was a hair to the left. Kaya Schultz off the head of Woods. Great defense from Woods to come back and shield away the body of Morena Hafen. As that ball was bouncing in front of Hafen, Woods didn't worry about playing the ball, just played the body. It results in this chance for the Bulls. Another steal for Woods. Gets tripped, no call, sent inside. Anderson couldn't get her head on it. Cleared by Nora Rausch. Emily Lazenby, calm, cool, and collected. The 5th year finds Anderson. For Maya Galko, the natural left-footed true freshman, to the middle. Stolen away, right back to Lazenby. Coach Sean Burke yells across the field. Down the sideline, off the dome of Haley Ann Spa, Rebecca Winslow, inside her 18, can pick it up if she wants to. Instead, keeps it rolling to Ellie Simmons. Take a minute and let you enjoy the beautiful game.
Now in for the Bulls, number 14, Lakin Kaiser.
Lakin Kaiser, the freshman, checks in for the Bulls. Lakin playing in her 9th game this season as a true freshman. In that midfield, her and Mika Maroli each impressive in their chances. Kaiser from Sherrill, New York, a 3-time all-section all-star. Ashley Fortunate makes a run to the corner. Madeline Schlecht, who has played every minute of this match, clears to the far side. Set up the far side, offside. Taylor Hamlet made the run. Good work from Lazenby, Simmons, and Galco, as they typically do. Step up at the right time and force the offside. 2-0 lead for Buffalo. 30 minutes remain from UB Stadium in Amherst. Katie Crone, 2 tallies in the first half, in the 13th and 26th minute, respectively. Galco to the middle for Fortunate. Looks to the far side, plays it there for Woods. Good cut to the middle, draws a defender on her. Kaiser makes a run. Lakin sends it with the right foot. Mika Maroli comes back. The Quebec native stops and turns, beats her defender, plays it for Moa Anderson, who is blocked. Buffalo with all of their young talent on the field, generating just as great of chances as they were with their starters. Emily Lazenby, good effort to get back and clear out of bounds.
In for the Red Hawks, number 3, Caroline Palmer.
Buffalo came out after falling to Ohio on Sunday 1-0, where the Bulls were shot out of a rocket on Sunday against the Bobcats. Had 2 great chances in the first 7 minutes from Ariana Zumpano, blocked by either the goaltender Celeste Sloma or defenders. The Bulls never recovered. Had a couple good opportunities, including a penalty kick in the last 30 minutes, or 30 seconds rather, of the game Sunday. Crone wasn't able to convert. The Bulls fell 1-0, giving up that 1 goal in the first half, losing their first conference game since 2021. How did the Bulls respond? Well, this game tells the story. They settled back as Miami took the first possession of the game, and then as soon as they took the ball for the first time, 2 minutes in, Buffalo put on the heat. And they capitalized on 2 Katie Crone tallies in the 13th and 26th minutes. In the 13th, it was Ariana Zumpano who made a run off a Katie Crone steal. The feed to Zumpano in space on the left side. Her shot on goal. Popa made the save but punched it out to the middle. A clearing attempt from Mercedes Strayer was incomplete as it was stolen away by Katie Crone atop the 18, who smacked it in with the left. That gave Buffalo the 1-0 lead, and then 13 minutes later, off a corner kick, Maya Galco headed it as the back line of attackers for the Bulls, the back side of the 6-yard box. Galco, the freshman defender at 5'8", jumped up, headed it towards the middle, not towards the goal, but back near the top of the 18. That is where Katie Crone was. One touch, top right corner with the left leg. Katie Crone added her 8th goal on the season, which leads all Mid-American Conference players this year. Since the start of the second half, Miami has had some of the best chances. Shots are 2-1 in this second half for the Redhawks. Buffalo looking to change that now as Woods comes inside the 18, gets taken down. The backups for Buffalo doing their best to keep the offensive pressure after Woods got it inside. Miami, equal to the task, responds with Taylor Hamlet looking to turn a corner on the near side. A feed up the middle. Great step from Lazenby, the fifth-year center back, with help from Eva Blatz on the near wing. Eva earns the throw. No, she thought she did. Best thing to do in that situation, the freshman from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, Eva Blatz, knows just pick up the ball and throw it and make them stop you. If there's ever a question on the assistant referee on the sideline of who it last went out of, the more conviction, the more confidence you have in scooping up that ball on the sideline, the better of a chance that you might change their mind if they're 50-50 on who it went off of. Maroli. Fortunate with a steal. Back checked neatly by Hayes of Miami, but Buffalo keeps possession with Laken Kaiser playing her passing drill rather with Kaya Schultz. 25 minutes to go. Buffalo's upcoming schedule looks a little something like this as the Bulls head on the road for 2 matches up in Michigan. First Ypsilanti on Sunday, hence the Bulls not being able to take part in the Alzheimer's Walk this weekend. Hopa came out to challenge Moa Anderson on that attempt. Nothing doing for Moa, the Temple transfer. So as you saw quickly there, Buffalo comes back home in a few after the next 2 on the road. Well, I agree. Whoever that is sitting near our field mic, that quick little comment if you heard it. It'd be nice if this team won 7-0. A great pass back. Bulls defense, Johnny to the spot. Ellie Simmons clears, filling in for Lazenby, who made the step. And just like that, Buffalo's in offensive territory with Fortunate, who is checked. Buffalo still looking for that damn burst of a game. Haven't had it this season. But this the first game where Buffalo has played with a lead on their home turf this season. And they made quick work of adding to it. Crone, 2 markers in the first half, 13th and 26th minute respectively.
Now in the match for the Red Hawks, number 9, Kayla Perfect, and number 26, Maria Hafen.
Free kick for Buffalo, 50 yards out. Emily Lazenby, history major. She mentioned at halftime in the Around the 18 interview, loves the ancient history. Boy, I could go in. We might have to do a sit down with Emily Lazenby and just talk ancient Greece, ancient Mesopotamia, if you will. That's going way back. Maya Galko, pump fake on the throw, trying to get someone open. Mika Maroli down the sideline takes a step back. Ashley Reyes knows that one has a bit too much juice on it and goes past the goal line. For the Miami Redhawks, with a loss today, they drop to 0-3. If this score stands, still 20 minutes to play. But then they get a chance to return home but they get the top-ranked Kent State Golden Flashes. At least entering tonight, the Flashes, the lone undefeated team in the MAC at 2-0. Though this early in conference play, who knows what that means. Bulls won't see the Flashes until the last game of the conference schedule. Simmons with the corner, headed towards the goal, just wide to the left. An update from Kent State. They're currently leading Eastern Michigan 1-0, just about 15 minutes into play. Some other scores around the MAC. Akron and Bowling Green tied at zeros. Nothing doing from Central and Western. Check that. About 20 minutes in, it's a 2-1 lead for Western over Central. The Bulls will take on the Chippewas in a couple games. A week from today, actually. 7 o'clock start in Mount Pleasant. That after a Sunday matinee in Ypsilanti at Eastern Michigan. 1 p.m. start there. I do not believe you're able to watch that game on Sunday. Not streaming anywhere at Eastern Michigan, to my knowledge. We won't see you till Sunday, October 8th for H3H Mental Health Awareness Day at UB Stadium as the Bulls host the Ball State Cardinals. A 1 p.m. match on Sunday, October 8th. We invite you here to UB Stadium. But who knows how the weather will be come Sunday, October 8th. Mika Maroli, fancy footwork, clears space, and then turns it over. Sent right back with a ping-pong effort of the Bulls, and Eva Blatz. Lakin Kaiser up against the three-time MAC all-team honoree. Nearly beat Reyes in the middle. Free kick for Miami. Buffalo playing a solid defensive second half. Rebecca Winslow has had to make a couple saves. For the most part, the Bulls packing it in. Trying to park this game in the garage and close the door. But a goal for Miami would really put a halt to that. Look at the speed from Marissa Foster down the far side. But again, Hayes comes back. Rebecca Winslow with pressure. Picks it up with 18 minutes to go in the second half. Buffalo still leading 2-0. 2 Katie Crone goals. Game's gone final already. Today, Northern Illinois falls to Ohio 3-1. So not too shabby when Ohio now on a 2-game win streak, having beat Buffalo, and now Northern today. That game in Athens.
Now in for the Bulls, number 4, Sarah Woods.
Buffalo's starting winger gets back out there, number 4 in white. Mika Maroli takes a long jog across the field. She checks out. Another final score. Ball State defeats Toledo 2-1 earlier today. That will be the Bulls' next home match. Schultz gets beat on the 50-50. That was part of Buffalo's success in the first half, winning most of the 50-50 chances. Far sideline. Miami looks to clear off a foot. Lakin Kaiser and Kyle Schultz were both there. Caroline Palmer earns a throw deep down the sideline, but Palmer
Number 12,
looks to be
Anspaugh,
coming out.
And number 22, McKenna Morrison.
Anspaugh and Morrison back in as introduced by Dan Schieser. Ellie Simmons stops the entry attempt. Kaiser leaves it for Foster, who clears it away. 16 minutes and counting to go in the second half of play. Moa Anderson, heavy touch. Sarah Woods, space to her left, takes it. Woods, one-on-one, gets run out of room. Good defensive effort from Madeline Schlecht to end the chance for the Bulls. We mentioned Ball State, the next match at home for Buffalo on Sunday, October 8th. Things may change in a week and a half, but as we stand, Avery Frenchel leads scorers in the conference with 7 goals. That just one shy of Katie Krone's 8 for Buffalo, having notched 2 today. Frenchel scoring today for Ball State gives her 7. That a fun watch, back and forth. I think we know who our players to watch will be for that game in a week and a half. Dominique Popa, 9th game played, 9th start this season for the Miami Redhawks. Entering today had a 147 goals against average and a .718 save percentage. Great effort. So much so that it hurt. I believe that's Moa Anderson. Punched over in pain. Clock still running. Check that. It has stopped. Moa Anderson shakes it off. She's been beaten and battered so far this season. In an exhibition before non-conference play began, Moa Anderson suffered a bone bruise in an exhibition against Youngstown State here at UB Stadium. She fought through it and played in the home opener against Pitt. What a move by Ashley Reyes. Dish to the middle. Lakin Kaiser with a rip just wide. Reyes and Kaiser a foot shy of making it 3-0.
Now in for Buffalo, number 6, Katie Crone.
Crone back in. She replaces Kaiser, who just missed. A look back at that most recent play. Great feed from Reyes. Kaiser had to move to her right to throw off the defender in front of her, as Mercedes Schreier didn't give her much to shoot at. Now Katie Crone, who has hit her mark twice today. Foster wants a return pass from Crone. It's blocked. Marissa comes back to force a turnover. Maria Hafen touches it out of bounds for Miami. Pass to the middle from Crone. She was looking for Eva Blatz. That called out by both our fans and the center referee, Stephanie Serrano. A handball gives Buffalo possession. Under 13 minutes to go in this second half. Jack Cruiser with you here on the UB Bulls YouTube. Michael Loss, our producer. Matt Walfriend, our executive producer. Ashley Zarnota, our main camera that you see, with a RoboCam in the stands. Ellie Simmons to take the free kick on the near side. A one-woman wall of Taylor Hamlet 10 yards in front of her. Simmons with a beautiful entry pass off ahead of Lazenby. Reyes. Hamlet up the middle. Schultz sends it back. Anderson settles. Woods is there on the sideline. Buffalo elects not to use her. Katie Crone. That pass looking for Marissa Foster. What a recovery from Foster, though it just barely went out of bounds in front of the Buffalo bench. Couple injured players in sweatshirts on the Bulls bench. They're without their starting goaltender, Lexi Thompson, for a while with a hand injury. The true freshman came in and was stellar. In the 6 games she started, Thompson was so impressive. Rebecca Winslow, who steps in her place, already had a shutout versus Canisius earlier this year. Looking for her first win with the Buffalo Bulls in her senior campaign. The Cherry Hill, New Jersey native spent 2 seasons at Monmouth when they were in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Familiar with Western New York, she ended the season of the Niagara Purple Eagles a couple years ago. 13-4-4 record for Winslow at Monmouth in her career. Stellar tonight. Crone jumps over her head. Woods would have been good for 3. Oh. But instead it's none. How about this? Michael Loss writes down and says, here's an interesting stat. I'll give it to you. If UB holds this 2-0 lead for the final 9:50 to tick away, or at least hang on to a 1-goal lead, but they may make it more. Sarah Woods with a run. On her left foot, the cross knocked down by Popa. The sophomore from Newport with a fine job of putting pressure on the freshman, Dom Popa. Here's the stat that Michael Loss submits. If the Bulls win, they'll be 3-0-1 this season against predominantly red teams. The Miami Redhawks coming into today at 0-2 in conference play. Going down 0-3 would be detrimental to their chances of fighting for a Mid-American Conference title this year. The 6th season under Courtney Sermons. For the Bulls, a win today shakes off the first loss in conference play in 2 seasons, which the Bulls suffered Sunday. What a move from Foster to create space in front. It's chipped up by Anderson, but cleared by Madeline Schlecht, at least for the moment. Reyes plays it back for Simmons. Oh, the fancy footwork from Foster. Another feed to the middle. Reyes couldn't get there. Foster putting on a clinic on the far sideline, right in front of her bench. Some jaws dropped.
Now in the match for Buffalo, number 10, Olivia Bizzoni.
Buffalo's captain back in.
Caroline Palmer.
Palmer, the sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina, checks in for the Redhawks. Lazenby with a header. Blatz to Maya Galko. Schultz in the middle. The true freshman left back sends it in. Bizzoni off the bench, overruns the pass. Galko gets beat down the near side by Taylor Hamlet, our player to watch for Miami. A goal in each of their last 2 games comes in. Great slide tackle from Galko, and the clear from Lazenby. If you caught the segment at halftime around the 18 with Emily Lazenby, I asked her what the difference between the 2 starting true freshman defenders. Last year it was Ellie Simmons. She won Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. This year, to her left, is Maya Galko, replacing Tess Ford. Big shoes to fill. Maya Galko comes in as a natural left-footed shooter. I asked Lazenby, what's the difference? What are the similarities between the 2? She said, my job is much easier because I've got each of them to my flank. The only difference is that Maya is a natural left-footed player. What unbelievable recruiting from Sean Burke and his staff. Brianne Casey in her 5th year as assistant coach. And they bring in Danny Lowton this season as a goaltenders coach. His work was certainly paying off with Lexi Thompson, who was the best goaltender in high school in the United States a year ago. Without her, though, Winslow's been stellar. Schultz centers it off a leg of a Red Hawk. Cleared to the middle, not where you want to go. Reyes settles it, chips to the far side. In front, Krone's shot goes just high. She wanted the hat trick, but Katie Krone chipped it just off target. Great setup for the Bulls. Header on the 50-50. Krone got hit and fell backwards. She pops right back up after earning the foul. Krone got to be careful. She already has a yellow today. 3 straight games with a yellow card. Bizzoni on the near wing. Fresh legs off the bench. Bizzoni just runs out of space as Kylie Beinecke forced her down the sideline. Beinecke, number 17 in red, playing a bit more of a defensive midfield role today. She had 3 straight games with a shot on goal entering today, none so far for Miami. Was a freshman All-MAC player in her first year in 2021, but Kylie Beinecke had 4 goals in her freshman campaign. Has played now 37 games without scoring for Miami. Whether that is intentional or not by the coaching staff of the Redhawks, I cannot say. But the Redhawks could use some goal scoring support, as they are currently dead last in team goals this season amongst all Mid-American Conference members, with 5 entering tonight, and they haven't added to it. The next lowest team is Akron, who the Bulls beat 2-0 a week ago. Akron, through 9 games, has 8 goals for.
Oh! She's out of the box!
Buffalo fans enjoying a Thursday night at UB Stadium. Good weekend to be a Bull. Just a couple other athletic events going on around campus this weekend. Tomorrow, the volleyball team in action at night against the Ohio Bobcats. It's a back-to-back with the Bobcats on the volleyball court. Saturday, I'll be on with Mark Anzalone on ESPN Plus for volleyball UB against Ohio. 12-2. The Buffalo Bulls volleyball team is so far undefeated at home. They are a fun team to watch. Senior laden, but that can make for some of the best volleyball you'll see in the area. Sent in towards Popa. She handles that one. First time she's had a long distance shot come towards her, which she didn't bounce off the turf. That time just scooped it into the chest. Simmons with a great feed up for Krone. Well defended. The task of defending Katie Krone as Sophia Penagore bumps into number 6 of Buffalo. Foul on Krone. Two minutes to go from UB Stadium in Amherst. A 2-0 lead for Buffalo. Katie Krone and company would like to get another, but 2 goals and a victory is nothing to cry about for the Buffalo Bulls, who dropped their first conference game in 2 seasons on Sunday. A foul against Miami inside the Buffalo 18. Haley Anspaugh has been everywhere today for the Miami Redhawks. Winslow clears to center. One time, another look at the Buffalo upcoming schedule as they head on the road next week. Sunday at Eastern, Thursday at Central, and then home against Ball State at 1 p.m. on October 8th. Winslow comes out and makes a save in the dying moments of the second half. As a Red Hawk got hurt, Taylor Hamlet is down. Now she pops up inside the 6. Winslow, her best save of the game, keeps it a 2-0 lead for the Bulls with a minute to go. But now back 40 yards away. Anspaugh sends it in. Winslow is there. Rebecca Winslow, 30 seconds away from her first victory as a Buffalo Bull. Now an injury timeout with 28 seconds to go, and a Red Hawk down holding her right leg up. Dominique DiMatteo, the athletic trainer for the Red Hawks, quickly runs out to the 18 in the PK box. We'll take a timeout as Miami deals with this. 28 seconds to go, a 2-0 Buffalo lead. The Red Hawk attacker back up and on her feet. Still trying to get her number. 22, that's McKenna Morrison. Calgary, Alberta native. Injured in the dying minute of the second half. Great work from Ashley Reyes to create space, and now this is not what you want to see for the Bulls. Katie Crone on her legs. Now she's back up. Crone draws another foul. She's one of the best at doing that. 14 seconds to go. Clock stopped. Buffalo free kick, looking to sprinkle a couple sprinkles on top of the Sunday. That is a 2-0 lead with 14 seconds to go. Simmons looking for Eva Blatz, was just a second in front of her.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it.
The Buffalo Bulls defeat the Miami Redhawks 2-0 at home and bounce back after a loss to Ohio. Buffalo moves to 2-1 in Mid-American Conference play. The Bulls win their first game at home this season and head on the road for 2 games in Michigan next week against Eastern on Sunday and Central on Thursday. Buffalo now 2-1 in conference play. Boy, what a performance it was. Katie Crone, 2 goals in the first half. The Miami Redhawks, no response. Rebecca Winslow earns her second shutout as a Buffalo Bulls goaltender, but this time her team gave her some goal support. A shutout against Canisius in a draw earlier this year is a far distant memory as Rebecca Winslow earns her first career victory as a Buffalo Bull tonight in conference play against the Miami Redhawks. Katie Crone, our player of the game, she bounced back after missing a PK in the last minute of the loss against Ohio. 4 hours of regrouping for Katie Crone has her locked in for today. She came out and forgot about Sunday. 2 goals in the first half. Katie Crone now leads all Mid-American Conference players in scoring with 8. And a big congratulations to Coach Sean Burke, who has earned his 100th career victory as Bulls head coach. It took 10 seasons, and it nearly didn't happen as the Bulls fell shy on Sunday. We had the celebration planned, but Coach Burke walks away with the victory at home on Wednesday on Alzheimer's Awareness Night. He lost his father to Alzheimer's last decade. He's been doing this night ever since. What more do you want in a storybook ending but for Coach Burke to get career win number 100 on this night? Congratulations to Coach Burke. 100 career victories for Coach Burke. I'm going to run and catch up with Sean down on the field, and stay tuned to the UB social pages for my interview with Coach Sean Burke coming out in just a few minutes. That'll do it for our entire production crew. Ashley Zarnota, our camera crew. Michael Loss, our producer. Matt Walfriend, our executive producer. Our technical director is Tyler Bauer. I'm Jack Cruiser saying until Ball State a week and a half from now. The final score, Buffalo 2, Miami of Ohio 0. The Bulls move to 2-1 in conference play. Miami drops to 0-3. Till next time, friends, this is Jack Cruiser saying I bid you adieu.